Hello friends, this is Karen Cornell, your Creative Memories Advisor, and I am so excited because today's another project recipe day and we are doing project recipe number 17. So let me show you what it looks like. I use the Grateful Harvest collection. I love this collection because it has the spice lattes and the pumpkins and everything. I also use some of my autumn cottage embellishments and stuff because I had a lot of those left over, so I was trying to use what I had. But you can mix and match pretty much any of these autumn collections that we have. But this allows for 8 photos. I do know how to count, I promise. But we have 8 photos. I love the optical illusion where it goes through the middle. It's so cool. But let's get started and I'll walk you through the whole process. Okay, let's get started on project recipe number 17. You are going to, let me switch my camera. So you are going to need a frame border punch. And the way you can tell that it's a frame is that it is connected. So you have this silver part, the metal that connects down here, and this is open. So if it's not a frame punch, you will have silver on either side. Or not silver, open air. And you can also tell by the front where it has silver. The silver here, that means it's going to separate and completely come off of your page. Here, see how the blue connects and you only have the silver metal on one side? That means that you're going to have to trim the border off of your paper. So make sure that you have one that stays attached so you have it connected to the blue on one side and the silver on the other. And because the silver represents open air, so like it's going to be open and not, it's going to be taken away, and this is going to be, the blue is what's left, okay? And you are going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. I chose cranberry. I'm using the new Grateful Harvest fall collection, which is so pretty. It's full of pies and pumpkin lattes and pumpkins and leaves and these cute, adorable little acorns. Look at those little acorns. Aren't they cute? And I'm also using the Tone on Tone piece of paper, and it's this really cool kind of like lava mud looking on one side, and then the other side is a plaid, but I'm going to use the mud looking dirt kind. And so you'll need 3 pieces of designer paper and 2 pieces of cardstock. You'll need a frame border punch, and your trimmer. And that's about it. It's not that hard. The first cut you're gonna use both sides of your paper, so make sure you like both sides and that you pay attention to the direction and that it will work with how you are going to punch it. So my other side is non-directional, which makes it very good because my front side is directional, because I want to make sure that when I cut my angles that my pumpkin lattes are going to be upright and not spilling, because that would be awful. So we are going to start with our first paper, and that's the only paper that you're going to use both sides, so that's good. And we are going to use our frame punch first, and so I'm going to turn my paper because I want it long ways for, no, hold on, let me think this through. Nope, I do not want to turn it. Do not turn your paper if you want it long ways. You're turning your punch. So with a frame punch, there's 2 little lines. There's a line here and then a line on the inside. You can't really see it, but you're gonna use the line on the inside to line up your paper. And you're gonna punch it, I'm just gonna punch it all the way down because I think that's gonna be easier. And then you line it up on top of and cover up all the silver or the blue and leave just the silver. I'm getting my silvers and blues confused today, y'all. I'm sorry. I had my big Croptoberfest this past weekend and I'm still recovering. It was so much fun. We were back at my old venue and we had lots of space and everybody loved their table and they were just having such a great time bonding and scrapping. It was so great. I loved it. Then you are going to cut I'm gonna go ahead and punch the other side because then I might as well. That'll work. That way I get all the punching done. So flip it over and punch the other side. Make sure your paper's flush against the top, because you need both sides punched, and this way you get it done, and then you can put the punch away, and then the rest of the time we just cut. Look at us. We are being so efficient today. I'm so proud of us. Yay us. And then we are done with the punch. So push that off to the side and get rid of all your scraps. Okay. Now we are going to cut this at 1 3/4. So just line it up to the tip of your punch, your border there, and that'll be 1 3/4. And then we're going to cut it at 4 inches twice, which basically leaves you 2 of those. So isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. And this is the Petal Frame Punch. I like it. It's always a go-to. I use it for my Christmas layouts and put different colors in there, and that makes a, it looks like lights, the big lights, old school lights. I love that. Then we have 5 inches. And this is left with 5 1/4. Perfect. Then we're going to turn this and cut this at 6. We're using the reverse of that. Then we are going to take this and we are going to make sure that we are going, our paper says to cut this way at the diagonal. So we're going to take this and we want to make sure that we have the big part at the top. So then we put it up here, the line there, and then we bring it down here. And I'm going to bring it down just so I can see it, and then I'm sliding it back up. And I'm going to take a little peek down here and see that it's lined up. It's not going to go all the way up there. So you will need your microtip scissors to cut the edge. Grab my microtip scissors. And you're going to just cut just the little edge here. There we go. And so it looks like that. So that one's done. Put this off to the side. Now we need designer paper number 2. And these are all mats. So this is going to be my tone-on-tone paper, and I'm going to cut it at 4 inches straight down. And then this is going to be cut at 6 inches straight down. This I'm going to cut at 4 inches. I'm going to make 2 4x6 or 6x4 mats. And then the rest are going to be 4x4 mats. So this is a 6x4. I'm going to cut it down to 4x4. And this is all extra, so you can save it. And then this is going to be at 4x4s. And then our last designer paper, we are going to use just the one side, and we're going to cut it at 5 inches. And we're going to cut it the same way, where we want the the big side at the top. So we're going to take it and turn it like this. You're going to line it up. I slide it down so that I can see it. And slide it back up. And I take a little peek down here, make sure it's lined up. I can take my guides as well to make sure that they're in the right spot. Yep. And then we cut. And then I take my little microtip scissors and I do the ends. Perfect. Okay, now it's time to assemble. So get your base papers. If you have cardstock or designer paper, either one will do. And line those up. Sorry, gotta clear my spot here. I hope I'm not the only one that always feels like I'm cleaning as much as I'm doing a layout. It's constantly picking up. There's never enough space on a craft table, is there? So then you're going to line it up. You're going to have this on this side. This is where we get that optical illusion. Isn't that so cool? I love it. And then we're going to go on this side. We're going to have this one. And I did flip. These are supposed to be on the outsides and these are supposed to be on the inside based on the paper and the designer paper, but you can interchange them. I just like having the pretty part in the center. And then we're going to have this over here and this over here. And we have our 4x6s. And I could do the yellow. I mean, it's totally fine. This is where it's cool. Because we take these and we're going to do it like this. And like that. And this is probably why they wanted that to be orange. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip of it since I have plenty of orange and see if we like that better. Because I have plenty of paper. I could do yellow, which would also be fine. But I want to see what the orange looks like. So this is when I wish it was live and you could say, no, do that. No, yes, uh-huh. It was so funny at my retreat or my Croptoberfest this past weekend. I was at my, I have a whole long wall that is my crop shop. And I was over there like just, rearranging things and adding things that I needed to replace. And I was listening to some of my ladies. One of the ladies asked for help on a layout. Like, do you think this? And all I heard was, no, no. As she was moving it around. And it was so funny to overhear just that part of it. And it makes you realize how much you appreciate scrapbooking with friends because they totally know kind of your style too if you've been crafting with them for a while, and so they know what will look best in your album and what looks best on a page, and just because they know you so well, and it's just fun to watch and listen to. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was a funny moment. I just busted out laughing. And it happened multiple times over multiple tables, so it was pretty cool. Okay, let's see if we like this better. This is where I'm going to imagine you telling me yes or no when I do this. Yeah, I definitely like the orange because then it brings the orange across the page. I like that. I like that. Okay, We're switching it out. Okay, let's put it down. Isn't it fun how some borders stay attached and then it just adds a little bit more oomph to the mat, and I love that. Just makes a little bit more decoration, which is nice. Put this down. It's crazy, I'm doing these layouts and fall, and it was fall a couple weeks ago here. It felt like fall. It was beautiful, low humidity, which we don't get very often in Georgia. And but then it's back up into the 90s and it's so hot and humid and ugh. I'm ready for fall. Cut that a little bit better. There we go. Nobody would have seen that but me, but make sure my lattes are not spilling. Oh, so cute. But this is very easy layout. It's not hard, very simple cuts. Once you make that first diagonal cut, you just have to think about it. And I like to trace my finger when I do it so that I make sure I'm doing it right. Got these all discombobulated over here. Yes, I definitely like the orange. Okay. So we're going to put this one, it goes down. Sometimes I love this mat because it doesn't stick to it, and I can, when I can't find all my silicone mats, it works great. And this layout's really nice because you can fit up to 6 photos on it. And so if you have a lot of fall pictures or whatever you're scrapping, it's nice because you have plenty of space. Because let's face it, we love all the pictures. Scoot this down a little bit. I'm going to scoot this over because I think it needs to be over a little bit more. That's why I love repo. If you do it quick enough, it won't take off the pigment. If not, I can always embellish. Add a sticker, right? And then we just add this to the top of it. Just super fun. This is a fairly simple layout, which is nice to do every once in a while, but it just looks harder than it is, which is really cool. Oh, I did that too high. And then, I guess I should probably move up a little bit. I keep moving this, sorry. Just look too off here. Normally I don't have to do this, but that many times, but it's okay. That's why we love repo. It's crazy how long ago this came out because I feel like we've been using it forever and we love it. And there. Kind of just looking to make sure it's all about equal distance. May need to make a few little minor adjustments, but I can do that. And there is the layout. And I will add some embellishments and show you that in just a minute. But it's super, super cute. Love it. Love how it turned out. And lots of room for photos. We have some 3.5 by 3.5 size. Get that out, show you. So all of these will go here. And if you don't tape this, like I didn't tape the ends there very well, so that I did that on purpose, so that I could slide this card in here. And then it goes over your photo. And I will finish this up and show you the final layout with all my final embellishments. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. My final layout will be posted at the end and also on my Facebook page, Karen Cornell Scrapbooking. If you like this type of scrapbooking and using these project recipes, but you don't have the book, or you have the book and you want to do it with me, please subscribe to my channel. We do this every Wednesday at noon Eastern time, and it's just a fun way to get in your scrapbooking room and just create and enjoy the middle of the week, and then you can get through the rest of the week. So I hope you have a great day. Happy scrapping.